Hi, hello students. How are you all? I am Padma Priya and I'm here today to share some 10 sample questions whose probability of occurrences, the same pattern in your board exams is high. Like we'll cover assessment reasoning, multiple choice questions, short answer, long answer and case studies. By all these questions, you will have a visualization of what sort of questions you are going to be getting in your board exams. So, I'll be guiding you with a proper sequence of steps of how to solve those questions so that you can crack your board exam with more score than what you expect. So, stay tuned with MDG. So, let's start. If the sum of zeros of the quadratic polynomial kx square plus 4x plus 3k is equal to their product, then the value of k is. So, this question is all about a quadratic polynomial whose sum of zeros and product of zeros are same. And we are supposed to find the missing value of the expression, which is k. So, let's start writing with the terms that we have in the given expression. Here we have our a value as k, our b value is 4 and that of our c value is 3k. Now, the concept is all about zeros of the polynomial. So, let's consider the zeros of this polynomial to be alpha and beta. Now, as said in the question, the sum of zeros and the product of zeros are equal. So, the sum of zeros alpha plus beta is same as the product of their zeros alpha beta. Now, alpha plus beta value is minus b by a and the formula for alpha beta is c by a. Now, replace that values of a, b and c in the expression we get 4 by k is minus 4 by k equals to 3k by k. So, on solving this equation, we get k value as minus 4 by 3. So, which is in option D. So, D is our right answer for this question. So, question number 2 is, we have to find the value of tan square 60 plus 4 cos square 45 plus 3 sec square 30 degrees plus 5 cos square 90 degrees whole divided by cosec 30 degrees plus sec 60 degrees minus cot square 30 degrees. So, for finding these value of this given expression, we are supposed to know the specific angle values of those trigonometric functions. So, first let us list them out. So, here we have tan 60 degrees which is nothing but root 3. Next we have cos 45 degrees whose value is nothing but cos 45 degrees value is nothing but 1 by root 2. Next we have sec 30 degrees. So, sec 30 degrees if you calculate it is 2 by root 3. Next we have cos 90 degrees. So, whose value is nothing but 0. Now, coming to the denominator parts, we have cosec 30 degrees. So, cosec 30 degrees is nothing but 2. Next, sec 60 degrees. So, sec 60 degrees is again nothing but 2. And finally, we have cot 30 degrees whose value is nothing but root 3. So, now by replacing all these values in the given expression, let us see what is the answer going to be. So, our expression whatever is there, in that expression I am replacing these values. So, tan square 60 it becomes root 3 whole square. Next plus 4 cos square 45. So, 4 times 1 by root 2 whole square. Next 3 sec square 30 degrees. So, plus 3 times sec 30 degrees is 2 by root 3 and we are squaring it. And last but not the least in the numerator we have 5 cos square 90 degrees. So, 5 times 0 square. Now, moving to the denominator, here we have cosec 30 degrees whose value is 2 and sec 60 degrees whose again the value is 2 and at the end we have cot square 30 degrees whose value is nothing but root 3 whole square. Now, on simplifying this expression, what do we get in the numerator? 3 plus 2 plus 4 plus 0 and in the denominator we have 2 plus 2 minus 3. Now, solving this part of the expression, we will get the value as 9. So this is how we solve this question, and we can clearly see that 9 is in option A. So A is the answer for this question. Now we have question 3. This is an assertion and reasoning question. So let's see what is assertion in this statement. The value of k for which the equation kx square minus 12x plus 4 equals to 0 has equal roots is 9. And the reason statement is all about the equation ax square plus bx plus c equals to 0 when a is a non-zero value has equal roots, and the condition for it is given as b square minus 4ac is greater than 0. So these are the assertion and reason statements here. Now first let's try to solve the assertion part, then we'll move on to the reason. So here if you observe in the assertion, we have a quadratic equation which is kx square minus 12x plus 4 equals to 0. And they're asking us to find the value of k, giving a condition that their roots are equal. Once the roots are equal, the discriminant is going to be 0. That is, b square minus 4ac is 0. So now let's replace the values of a, b, c in this equation to find the required value k. So here you can see the b value is minus 12. So minus 12 whole square minus of 4 times a value is k and our c value is 4 is equals to 0. So now on solving this I get 144 is equals to 16k, and which gives my k value as 144 upon 16, which is 9. So here they said the value of k is 9, which is absolutely right. So our reason statement is true. Now coming to the next part of our assertion statement is true. Now coming to the next part, here we have our reason. Here an equation ax square plus bx plus c equals to 0 has equal roots with the discriminant greater than 0. It's not possible because just now we have seen in the assertion discriminant will be 0 when the roots are equal. So this is a false statement. So from this we can conclude that assertion is true and the reason is false. So we go with option C in this case. That's the answer for this question. So question 4. In the given figure, we have a quadrilateral which is named as ABCD, and in this a diagonal is being given which is BD diagonal, and they are saying that this BD diagonal is bisecting angle B and angle D, and we are supposed to prove these two conditions where we are getting two triangles because of this diagonal which is ABD triangle and CBD triangle. We are supposed to prove them to be similar. Next, we are supposed to prove that AB and BC are equal. So let's start doing it. So here, as per the given picture, if you observe, in this quadrilateral, the given data is all about BD is bisecting angle B and angle D. So if this part angle is being bisected, so these two parts of the angle at D are equal. Simultaneously, the two parts formed at B are also equal. I have the two triangles here for which I need to work it out, which is triangle ABD and triangle CBD. So let's frame what all the statements are being satisfied in these two triangles. First one is triangle ABD and the other one triangle CBD. First and the foremost thing, in the triangle we will use this given bisected angles which are equal. So first let's start noting it out. We have angle ABD is equals to angle CBD. At the B we have two equal parts. Next, simultaneously at the D we have, which can be written as angle ADB is equals to angle CDB. Now, the side or the diagonal BD is acting as a common side for this both triangles. So, we have BD is equals to BD. So, this is occurring because of common side. Now, two angles with an included side, these two given triangles are satisfying the criteria of ASA congruency. So, I can say that triangle ABD is congruent to triangle CBD. And here we are satisfying ASA congruency. Once the two triangles are congruent, obviously they are similar. So, which makes a statement triangle ABD is similar to triangle CBD. So, the first part is being proved. Now, we have to go for the second part. Since our triangles ABD and CBD are already congruent, their corresponding parts are equal by CPCT. That is, the corresponding parts of congruent triangles are equal. So, I can make out the other conclusion that here the corresponding parts are AB and BC. So, my AB is equals to my BC. So, here my second part is also proved. So, this is how we prove this question. So, the question 5 is all about a solid cube whose side is 7 centimeters and a conical cavity is being made inside it whose height is 7 centimeters and radius is 3 centimeters. Now, we have supposed to find the volume of the remaining solid. The simple sense is you have a solid cube. So, inside the solid cube, a conical cavity is being made. So, a cavity which is in the form of a cone is made like this. Now, if this conical cavity, the solid inside that cone part, if it is removed, what is the leftover volume of the remaining solid is the question. So, in such case, we are supposed to discuss about the two solid objects which is cube and the cone here. So, let us mention the basic dimensions that we have here. So, for the cube, we have the dimensions which is side is 7 centimeters and for the cone, we have its basic dimensions whose radius is 3 centimeters and height is 7 centimeters. Now, to find the remaining volume of the cone, we are supposed to take out the volume of the cone from the volume of the cube. So, let us find the volume of this both. So, volume of the cube. The formula for volume is S cube. So, which is nothing but 7 cube, that is 343 cubic centimeters. Same way, coming to volume of a cone. So, volume of cone is 1 by 3 pi r square h. So, if you replace the values of r and h in this formula, we get 1 by 3 into 22 by 7 into 1 by 9 into 1 by 7. 1 second. Sorry. On replacing the values of r and h in this formula, we get it as 1 by 3 into 22 by 7 into 9 into 7. So, on solving this, let us see what do we get. Here we get this value as 66 cubic centimeters. Now, we have the volume of the cube and volume of the cone with us. We are supposed to find the volume of the remaining solid. So, remaining volume is equals to volume of cube minus volume of cone. So, volume of cube is 343 minus volume of cone is 66. So, on subtracting it, we find the value to be 772, that is 277 cubic centimeters. So, this is the answer for this question. Now, the question 6 is all about if the midpoint of the line segment joining the points A and B whose coordinates are given as x by 2 and y plus 1 by 2, whereas the coordinates of B are given as x plus 1 and y minus 3. If the midpoint of these both points is C 5 comma minus 1, we are supposed to find the value of x and y. So, let us start doing it. So, here we have the points A and B whose midpoint. Now, if you consider these as x1, y1, x2 and y2. The formula for midpoint is x1 plus x2 by 2 comma y1 plus y2 by 2 and whose value is already with us, which is 5 comma minus 2. Now, let us replace these values in these expressions. We get x by 2 plus x plus 1 whole divided by 2 as the x coordinate of the midpoint and in the y coordinate we get y plus 1 by 2 plus y minus 3 whole divided by 2, and we are supposed to equate this to 5 comma minus 2. Now let's equate the respective x coordinates and their y coordinates. What do we get? X by 2 plus x plus 1 whole divided by 2 is equals to 5. Similarly, we have y plus 1 by 2 plus y minus 3 whole divided by 2 is equals to minus 2. So let's solve these two parts to get the respective x and y values. So on solving this, you can see that here it is 3x by 2 plus 1 is equals to 10. Now if you solve it, you will get x value as 6. On the right side, again we have y plus 1 plus 2y minus 6. y minus 6 whole divided by 4 is equals to minus 2. So on further simplifying this, we get it as 3y minus 5 is equals to minus 5 is equals to minus 8. So on solving it to the other side, we get y value as minus 1. So here in this problem, we have solved the x value to be 6 and the y value to be minus 1. This is how we solve this question. So the question 7 is all about 6,500 rupees is being equally divided among certain number of people. If there are 15 more persons included, then each person will get 30 rupees less. Find the number of persons. So now initially this is all about amount being divided among certain number of people. So here let us consider the people in the first scenario is x. Now amount to each person we have to calculate. Our total amount is 6,500. Our total amount is 6,500. Now if there are x people, each person will get 6,500 upon x. This would be the share of each person. Now the second scenario is number of people has increased to 15 more. So the number of people now it will become x plus 15. And the amount that each gets would be 6,500 divided by x plus 15. This is what the amount each person gets. But what did they say? The condition what they gave is here this 6,500 now what is the condition given? The amount after increasing the people, which is 6,500 by 15 plus x, which is nothing but 30 less than the initial share. So we equate those conditions, which is 6,500 divided by x minus 30 is equals to 6,500 divided by x plus 15. This is what we are supposed to solve. So to make this bigger value smaller, you can observe that every term on the left side and every term on the right side are 10 multiples. So let's remove the 10 multiples to make this equation as 650 by x minus 3 is equals to 650 divided by x plus 15. Now let's solve by LCM. So on solving with LCM, you get the LHS as 650 minus 3x by x is equals to 650 by x plus 50. Now on cross multiplying, we get the terms as 650 minus 3x into x plus 15 is equals to 650x. Now let's simplify the left hand part. Here we get it as 650x plus 650 into 15. When we solve it, we get it as 9750. And solving the second part of the binomial, 3x square minus 45x, which is equals to 650x. Now, on taking out the terms to the right side, we get this negative terms changed to positive as 3x square plus 45x, and plus 9750 becomes minus 9750 equals to 0. So, if you observe, every term of this quadratic equation is a 3 multiple. So, on taking out the 3 multiple, we get the equation as x square plus 15x minus 3250 is equals to 0. Now, on factorizing the 15, which is in the middle term, we get this expression solved as x square plus 65x minus 55x minus 3250 is equals to 0. Minus 3250 is equals to 0. So, on factorizing it, we get x times x plus 65 minus 55 times x plus 65 is equals to 0. So, we resolve it as x plus 65 into x minus 55 is equals to 0. By taking this to equated to 0, we get x value as minus 65, which is not possible. So, x is not equals to minus 65 because x talks about number of people. So, the only leftover condition is x is equals to 55. So, the number of people in this case is 55 people. This is how we solve this question. So, this question number 8 is all about the Raman has an apple orchard with 90 apple trees. The data is showing about the number of apples given by various trees. So, this is a frequency distribution table, like 40 to 60 apples are given by 12 trees and 60 to 80 apples are given by 11 trees and so on. For this given data, we are supposed to find the mode. So, for finding the mode, first let's list out what is the formula of it and what are the terms needed for solving it. So, for finding the mode, the formula is mode is equals to lower limit of the mode class plus frequency of the mode class minus frequency of its preceding class divided by 2 times frequency of the mode class minus of frequency of the preceding class and the succeeding class sum multiplied with the class width. Now, what are these values here? Let us see. What is a mode class? Mode class is all about the class which has the highest frequency. This is the frequencies, this is the class interval. Here, what is the highest frequency? 16. So, this is the frequency of the mode class, which is F0. And L value is the lower limit of this mode class. So, we have our L value as 100. We have the frequency of the mode class as 16 and frequency preceding the mode class is F1, which is 14. So, F1 is equals to 14. Similarly, we need F2. F2 is nothing but frequency succeeding the mode class, which is nothing but F2 is equals to 13 here. And finally, we need the C value, which is the width of the class. Here you can see every class has a width of 20. So, 20 is the class width. Now, we will replace these values in the above formula. We will get the values as. So, on replacing these values in the above formula, we get our mode as lower limit is 100 plus 16 minus 14 divided by 2 times 16 minus of 14 plus 13 completely multiplied with 20. So let's try to solve this. Here we have 100 plus 2 upon 2 plus 3 into 20. So we get this as 100 plus 8, which is 108. So the mode of the given data is 108. This is how we solve this. Ninth question is about Jigyas has a garden in his balcony which has various trees. But on a stormy day, the vertical straight tree, which is 15 meters height, is broken by the wind in such a way that its top just touches the ground and makes an angle of 60 degrees with the ground. At what height from the ground did the tree break? This is the question. So this is a long straight tree which is 15 meters height, but because of the storm, it broke at certain part of the tree like this, and it's been the vertical above top portion is touching the ground, making it an angle of 60 degrees with its base. Now our question is, what is the height from the ground where the tree has broken? So we are supposed to find this part. So let's see how do we do it. So here the part of the tree which is broken, let us make this picture in the form of a triangle first. So our given right angle triangle is like this. Now if it is A, B and C. Now the part broken, if I consider it as x meters height, the total height of the tree was 15 meters. But after breaking, this portion is nothing but from the complete 15 meters, this x meters I am supposed to remove. So the hypotenuse of this right angle triangle is going to be 15 minus x meters now. And we have the angle of elevation here as 60 degrees. Now let's apply the trigonometric function which is relating the opposite side and the hypotenuse of this right angle triangle. So here we have sine angle A is equals to opposite side BC by its hypotenuse AC. Now what is sine A? Sine 60 degrees is equals to x by 15 minus x. What is sine 60? Root 3 by 2. So root 3 by 2 is equals to x upon 15 minus x. Now on cross multiplying, we get it as root 3 times So on cross multiplying, we get root 3 times 15 minus x is equals to 2x. Now let's simplify this equation. We get it as 15 root 3 minus root 3x is equals to 2x. Now let's take the variables one side. We get it as 15 root 3 is equals to 2 plus root 3 times x. I have taken the variables to the right side. Now on solving it further, we get x value as 15 root 3 divided by 2 plus root 3. You have an irrational part in the denominator, solving which would lead to be a tedious one. So let's make the denominator to be a rational part by rationalizing it. How do we make it? 15 times root 3 by 2 plus root 3. To make the denominator to a rational, we have to multiply it with its rationalizing factor. So here the rationalizing factor of 2 plus root 3 is 2 minus root 3 by 2 minus root 3. So our numerator gets changed to be 30 root 3 minus 45 divided by 4 minus 3. So here we have ultimately 30 root 3 minus 45. Since the root 3 value is already given, which is to be used as 1.73, so 30 times 1.73 minus 45, if you solve it, you will get the answer as 6.9 meters. So this is what going to be the height of the tree from the ground after braking. That is, our x part is 6.9 meters. This is how we solve this question. 10th question. Ram goes to a store to buy some chocolates. In the store, there are 5 different brands of chocolates. 20 of brand A, 35 of brand B, 33 from brand C, 42 belonging to brand D, and that of 70 of brand E. So these many varieties of chocolates are there. Ram is supposed to pick from them randomly some chocolates. Now, the question is with 4 parts. The first part is the probability of chocolates if it is of brand E. So Ram is picking up a chocolate. Now, what is the probability that it is going to be belonging to brand E is the question. So first, for doing the probability, let's see what is the total number of chocolates. Here we have 5 brands, which is brand A, B, C, D, E, and then we need the total. So brand A is 20 chocolates, brand B is 35 chocolates, brand C is 33 chocolates, brand D 42, and ultimately brand E is 70 chocolates. Now these make up an ultimate sum of 200 chocolates. So Ram is supposed to choose a chocolate out of the total of 200. Now coming to the first part. First part is probability of getting brand E chocolate. So probability of choosing a brand E chocolate is nothing but the chances for E is 70 upon the total probability, total chances, which is 200, which is 7 upon 20. Now let's move on to the second part of the question, which is talking about what is the probability of the chocolate if it is not brand B. So we are supposed to choose, Ram is choosing a chocolate which is not belonging to brand B. If it is not belonging to brand B, I am doing probability of not B, which is as simple as 1 minus probability of B. So how will I do it? What is the probability of B here? 35 upon 200. So 1 minus 35 upon 200. I will solve this as 1 minus 7 by 40, which will lead to 33 by 40 as the answer for this second part. Moving to the third question, we have 2 parts in it. The first part is what is the probability that the chocolate picked is from brand C. So again, here we have part 1 of C, the part A of third case, which is talking about probability of choosing a brand C chocolate. Now the count of brand C chocolates is 33 and we have a total of 200 chocolates. So 33 upon 200 is the probability for choosing a brand C chocolate. And the last but not the least, part B of the third question is what is the probability that the chocolate chosen is either belonging to brand D or brand A. So we have 2 brands which are being chosen at either case. So now the part B is what is the probability of choosing brand D or brand A. These both are completely exclusive cases. So we get probability of D plus probability of brand A. Now probability of brand D is 42 upon 200 and probability of choosing brand A is 20 upon 200, which is being solved to 62 upon 200 or 31 upon 100. So this is how we solve this case study question. So students, hope you have understood these 10 questions of how to solve them, how to explain every step in detail so that you can get the utmost weightage of every question that you solve. So share this video to as many friends as yours so that they also can have enough preparation for their board exams. In the description box, we are providing you a link where you can get a CBSE board exam books from MTG where you can have enough practice of these sort of questions. MTG CBSE board exam books has 80% probability to get same or similar type of questions as that of in the board exams. So keep subscribing to our MTG channel so that we keep posting you more and more videos and we can help you to crack your board exams with at most maximum marks with flying colors. Stay tuned. Bye.